Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have 3 great appetizer recipes to share for you. I know upcoming here, we have a big old football game that a lot of people like to have parties for or go to parties. I don't ever watch football, so not for me, but I have been invited to parties in the past and you never want to show up empty-handed. However, sometimes when you like order out, if you're like picking up a tray of something or whatever, getting like a frozen thing, it can be really expensive, and we should not have expensive food, expensive snacks, expensive appetizers be a barrier to having fun with our friends. Now, you don't have to use these recipes for the big football game. You could just have them for fun, okay? You could eat them while you're watching the Puppy Bowl, or for a game night, or I don't know, a late night snack. This, it doesn't have to be for a football game. But I thought this was a good time to share these snacks in case that is what you're looking for. All right, and with that, let's get into our first recipe. We are making pepperoni pizza sliders, which will be way cheaper than ordering a pizza or, having a sub shop cater little sandwiches or something like that. And we're starting out with the Hawaiian sweet rolls. This obviously is the Aldi brand one, and these are like, I don't know, like $2. They're not that expensive. And I'm only making like 1 of them, but depending on how many people you're serving, you could easily make more of these. You could make all different types of flavors. We're doing the pepperoni pizza one today. Okay, here I have my pan. I did get a question about this pan. It is a Pampered Chef stone. It's very old, that's why it's like pretty seasoned. I prefer using stoneware. It is my preference, but you could use any kind of pan. Okay, so we've got our bread. And now I'm just going to cut the whole thing in half. This makes it so fast when it's all in like this big brick like this. You don't have to individually cut them. You just do it like this. Take the top off. Next ingredient is tomato sauce. Getting the small cans of the plain tomato sauce is going to be your most budget-friendly option for saucing this. And now the bread is gonna soak a lot of this in, so like you can be a little heavy-handed with the sauce, I've found. If you want it to like be pizza-like, you're gonna have to put quite a bit on there. All right, I'm gonna put this aside because next we're gonna do our cheese. For our cheese, I have selected this brick of mozzarella. Now, you can buy like sliced, like provolone or sliced mozzarella. That also is very easy because you don't have to shred anything. You could also buy pre-shredded cheese. However, I'm always gonna look at the cheapest cheese per ounce. And today the best deal was on these bricks. This was like $1.79, it was on sale. So that was the cheapest per ounce. And I am fine with that. I am okay shredding my own cheese. That doesn't bother me. All right, now I'm gonna throw just a little bit of Italian seasoning on top of our sauce. And now we're gonna load it up with our cheese. You could absolutely leave it like this if you wanted. I'm gonna throw some pepperoni on here. The pepperoni is also a really good deal. I think this was something like $2.50. So not a lot, and I'm definitely not gonna use the whole bag, so I definitely will have some for another pizza day as well. All right, now before I put the top of the bread on, I'm actually gonna put this in the oven for a few minutes just to make sure that all the cheese gets really melty. All right, my oven has preheated to 350 degrees. I'm gonna put these in, I don't know, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. It's not gonna take that long. Perfect. All right, so everything's getting nice and melty and warm, and now we're gonna go ahead and put the lid on. Now I've got some olive oil. I'm just gonna throw it on the top here. Brush it around a little bit. Throw a little bit of our Italian seasoning on top. And now we're gonna put it back in the oven. We're gonna put this back in the oven for like 5 or 6 minutes, just enough that the top is toasty and it's warm all the way through. We don't wanna like burn it or like bake it too much, but that should be good. Perfect, just a little bit toasty, warm and melty all the way through. We love it. And now all you have to do is cut them. Oh my goodness, it's so good. I can't help myself, I have to eat a little one. Look at that cheese pull. I might have to whip these out for dinner sometime soon. I don't know why I never think of it. All right, next we are making these tasty little taco snacks. Now I know you've probably seen things like this in the frozen food aisle, but for less money and, you know, arguably tastier outcome, you can actually make your own. So we are going to be using, you need like these round tortilla chips, and we also have some refried beans, very affordable. The cheese I selected is Kobe Jack, and I selected it because it was the best deal. Again, the bricks were like on sale. They were the cheapest per ounce. So I'm gonna go ahead and shred this myself. And lastly, I have this little packet of taco mix. I don't usually ever use a whole packet. I just like open one and use it like for seasoning and cooking with. First thing we're doing is shred the cheese again. If I can get it open, good Lord. Now I'm going to lay my chips out, and I am only going to make enough to fill this, but you could make a lot of these. All right, now I'm gonna take my beans and I'm just gonna put like a little scoop on each of my chips. I would say probably like, I don't know, half a tablespoon or so on each one. All right, now I've got my taco seasoning, and you know, be delicate with this. Because remember, this packet like would season an entire pound of beef. So, you know, we're just putting a teeny little bit on. You're gonna be wanting to use probably like the same amount of cheese as you did of the beans. We wanna be able to fold these, so, you know, don't overfill them or they'll look less cute. All right, I still have my oven preheated at 350, so we are going to pop these in there for like 6 minutes. We want them to be melty and warm, but we also need those chips to be flexible, and the moisture from the cheese and the beans is gonna make that happen. All right. Now, hopefully these will fold. I don't know, they might crack a little bit, but if they do, it's fine. Oh, they are folding. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. There we go. I saw it on TikTok. I didn't know if it was gonna really work. Oh my gosh, how tasty does that little taco look? Okay, some of them we did get a little bit of cracking here, but I found that those were the ones that didn't have as much of a spread of the beans across the whole center. So when you're making these, I would say try to put the beans really across the whole diameter of the center if you want that part to be sort of tender enough to fold. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but you know, just, you know, a thought. These are so good. Honestly, to me, this isn't just a party food. Like, this is something that I would make and then eat in my bed while I'm watching Sister Wives. Yum. I also think these would be pretty tasty with like a side of salsa, or maybe some guacamole or sour cream. If you're a dip person. All right, it's time for our third recipe. We are making pretzel bites. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you know I love pretzels. Pretzels are like my favorite food, okay? A board, a party, an appetizer, not complete without a pretzel, okay? We're gonna make pretzels out of biscuit dough because we don't wanna try that hard, okay? And this was like $2. So just make sure, I've done this a lot of times, and the type of biscuits that are like the flaky kind with the layers, don't get those ones. Get like the fluffy buttermilk kind is the best. So while I am prepping this, I have a big pot of water here to put to boil. Now, the thing that makes pretzels brown and has that like good like leathery texture and the taste, it's baking soda. You put baking soda in the water and you give your little dough like a bath in it, and that's what makes it like that. I'm not gonna lie here. There's probably a ratio I should be following. I'm eyeballing it today. I have, I would say 6 cups of water coming to a boil, and I'm gonna use probably 1/4 cup of baking soda in it. So, ish. Hopefully that's, hopefully that doesn't make you crazy where I'm just like sharing recipes that are barely a recipe. Of course, I only bought 1 can, but you could like make more than this. And we're actually gonna cut these in quarters. All right, and now I'm going to roll these just roughly into little balls. Like, you don't have to try that hard. They don't need to be perfect. Okay, moving over to the stovetop here. My water is boiling. We're gonna add the baking soda, but you need to know, if you dump it in really fast, it will like bubble over and go everywhere, okay? You have to add the baking soda a little at a time, or you will really regret it. Don't ask me how I know. Hello. Now we're going to take our dough balls and we're just gonna plop them in there. Just for a couple of minutes. Like two minutes. And you don't wanna like overfill it. I'll probably do these in like a couple of rounds. They're really puffy. They almost have like what looks like a layer of sort of like fuzz on top from being boiled. And then you're just gonna lay them on your parchment. All right, while those are boiling, while these are still like pretty wet, I'm gonna put my pretzel salt on top of them. Just a little bit on each one. All right, these are ready for the oven. My oven is preheated to 425 degrees, and they're going to take about 10 minutes. All right, there we go. Nice and toasty. Oh, I just want to eat one so bad. Like, yum. I'm going to be serving my pretzels with some mustard because that's my preference. Like, this made such an insane amount of pretzels for a $2 can of biscuits. Oh my gosh. There's like none in here. My husband, really? It's like basically empty. That's how much mustard my husband has left for this video. Come on, you rolled up to a party with any of these things or all of these things, or if anyone came over to your house and you pulled this out, they would love it. Now, while I will not be watching football while eating this, I do have a D&D night coming up that I think the family would enjoy this kind of thing for as well. So we have a family D&D game going right now. But yeah, so whatever kind of social gathering or late night solo snacking you want to partake in, I think any of these options would be really, really good. And there you have it, 3 very easy, very budget friendly appetizer ideas. Let me know, do you guys do this kind of stuff? Do you make sliders? I remember they exist every once in a while, and now I'm like, wow, I could have made like a turkey and cheese one. We could do pastrami, we could do pulled pork. There are so many options with the sliders. Is that something that you feed your family or yourself or parties and stuff like that? I want to know. Let me know down below. Are you going to be watching the big game? Is this a thing? Am I the only one who's more excited for the Puppy Bowl? I don't know. I mean, no hate. Do you. Get in on the sports. It's fine. If the Detroit Lions were playing, then I would watch, but that's pretty much the only reason. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment and share and do all the things that help us grow over here on my little corner of the internet. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one.